So I turned about $1,000 into about 30K, a 30X on HBAR. It was during a time where meme coins were running. A lot of people were fading it. A huge amount of people were fading it. And I'm starting to see some signs very similar. You can check this for yourself if you were curious on classiccrypto.hbar. It was mainly due to the fact that, one, I held my HBAR for a long time. So we got a very early entry on HBAR. We were able to hold that. On top of that, on top of all this, we were able to go ahead and tap into what the market was running into, which was a very quick pump fund derivative called Meme Job. Meme Job caused a lot of these HBAR coins to run. And I want to tell you today, HBARs ran to the point where their coins are starting to move again. This has been a metric that I have been looking for a long time, and I want to post it on this channel specifically because I want to talk about probably my mindset as to where I am in the whole grand scheme of this, if I'm entering these trades, et cetera, et cetera. Because I've been seeing comments about this GIB coin. I actually entered this GIB coin when I was doing my journey from $1,000 into 30,000 on my public wallet. And I sold it, I think, around $1 million. I mean, I sold this at $1 million, bought it at like 200, 300K, and now it's at 4.5 mil. So clearly I should have held it. You know, hindsight is 2020. But right now, as it stands, these coins are starting to run. It's not just GIB. You know, Bonzo Finance is the one that has been driving a lot of that TVL for USDC, which I'm going to be making a separate video on. But this one's also running as well. I mean, we see this at $9.7 million at the moment, $1 million worth of liquidity. Actually quite impressive. But at the same time, we have, and I still think we're still very early on, stuff like Hashpack that is honestly not doing too well. It's just chilling at all-time lows practically. And we have Saucer Swap, which has actually bounced from its lows quite aggressively and is now looking to make new highs. What sort of information am I looking for? And am I going to be entering trades? I guess that's what you're kind of wondering. Well, the one thing I want to see is, just like the last time, I want to see HBAR touch highs. I really wanted to have a clear breakout. We had it earlier this year when HBAR had an absolutely enormous run. We started to see some derivatives and other coins launch, and that made a huge liquidity crunch for a lot of these HBAR coins. These HBAR coins, though, I mean, I'm going to be the first guy to say it, they're still very small. I mean, $4 million, $9 million. I'm not looking to establish positions at the moment with these coins. I want to, one, see these coins retrace. I'm not going to be buying into these highs. I'm not going to be that YouTuber that says, you know, this coin was at 2.4 here a couple days ago and ran all the way to 9. It's still time to get in. I'm not going to be that guy. In fact, it just had a $9,000 sale. I'm going to be that guy that tells you, you got to start looking into this ecosystem, because there's going to be a moment in which HBAR is going to signal. And I've been saying this for I don't even know how long on my channel, that the HBAR DeFi run is going to be aggressive and people will make millions of dollars. No joke. If I was able to turn $1,000 into 30K in a very short period of time, I guarantee people can turn 1K into 1 mil plus if they do this correctly. HBAR is not just a coin that you just hold forever and that's it. There are actual things to do within the HBAR ecosystem, and that's the reason I cover this thing. I mean, that's the reason I'm here talking about HBAR day in and day out, and the reason that I talk about AVAX, because these are two coins that aren't just coins that you hold forever. These are coins that you could actually use within their ecosystem. I mean, that should be the whole point of the whole equation. And so I'm positioning into this stuff. I want to see stable coins continue to grow on HBAR. And at the same time, I want to unequivocally see those local highs. So what are we trying to see in terms of levels for HBAR? Of course, we want to see that retouch that happened earlier this year. On the daily, if you look at it, it's clear as day. This range over here, I mean, I don't need to be a TA expert, about 38 to 40 cents has been the previous range. Before someone tells me that the old all-time high matters at all, I do not care about the old all-time high. I mean, that's not even a thing that I look at in terms of HBAR, because the way I compare it is market cap. How has the market cap grown on HBAR? It is pretty much retouching all-time highs. Simply put, once it gets to its previous range, that's when I'm going to be seriously considering in terms of a market cap. In terms of a price, I do not care, because check this out. 45 cents was what, $6 billion. So same way I compare it, I want to see that market cap retouch. That's that retouch that I'm looking for. So that 35 to 40 cent range, that's the range where we have that breakout. We have fresh liquidity enter. And when fresh liquidity enters, we have these opportunities such as 𝐸, and I'm sure there's going to be many more coins that end up coming out that will be very attractive. Right now, actually, we're farming Origin, and Origin is pretty much giving an airdrop anybody that's staking their HBAR. And by the way, I am currently doing it as well in my public wallet, which we have a squad, so I'll leave that link in the description. But literally, if you're staking your HBAR, which there is no reason you should not be staking your HBAR, if you're holding your HBAR in a centralized exchange, one, you're not going to be able to participate in any of this DeFi stuff. But two, you are, for absolutely no reason, not staking. I mean, there's no reason not to stake. It's liquid staking. It's not like hard staking where they have your coins. It's just practically like your voting power is just the amount of coins that you have staked. You can still trade. You can do whatever you want with staking. It's not like, I've had situations in the past with like crypto.com, and trust me, I'm not big into staking. I hate staking. I think staking is like the biggest loser thing in the world. But when it comes to staking that's liquid, and it has absolutely no lockup, I don't care. Crypto.com, for example, I locked up like $40,000 to try to secure an apartment, and then all of a sudden they cut the Visa rewards and I got destroyed. Had I been doing it on HBAR, I would have been able to actually take my money out. But Crypto.com, I locked up my money for a year and then ended up losing 90% of it. So the way I see it, you do liquid staking, you get into these campaigns, you get free coins, because my opinion here is that new coins are going to do very well. Stuff like 𝐸, Bonzo, all this stuff, I'm not buying at these levels. I'm not going to be that guy to say it, but once they retrace, they have a bit of a calm down. I am going to be looking into establishing positions, because I'm starting to feel like very, very, very soon the ecosystem is going to become mature enough for these coins to run, and people will make a lot of money, and I'm obviously going to want to be a part of that. So that's where my head is at, wired into my HBAR position, and how I'm going to be using some of those coins to hopefully establish a 7-figure position into HBAR before the end of the year, just trading these coins. This is the same thing that I'm doing on AVAX. I'm very focused, because if I don't focus on the HBAR ecosystem, then I'm going to miss out on these moves, and I've already missed out on some of them. So I want to make sure that my long-term bags are positioned, but also some of that short-term potential to try to grab even more HBAR. That's always something we want to look into. People made a ton of money on Solana, and so we want to do the exact same thing on stuff like HBAR. And that's why we're farming Origin. That's why we're farming all these kind of things. I'll be leaving the links in the description for Origin staking if that's something you're interested in. It's free coins. You might as well go ahead and do it. And then I will keep you updated on when I establish my positions, because we are still waiting for that breakout. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Stay classy. Are you buying right now? Are you selling right now? And that's all.